Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my co-host Judy Loge and Veronique Arsenault, and welcome to another great show here at Have a Chat in Miramichi.
Hello, girls.
Hello.
It's a fabulous Monday again.
I know, it is. It is. The weather, the temperature is nice. It was a little rainy this morning. The sun has broke open through the clouds.
It's a good day.
It's a nice day out there. Gorgeous for coming on the end of August.
I know.
It's still, the weather's pretty sharp.
I don't know where the summer went.
That's what I just said. Getting the kids back to school. It's like, okay, summer just began. Now it's time to go back to school. Flu.
Yeah, exactly. That's just it. So we have lots to talk about with our quick chat. We have some really great guests that you're not going to want to miss.
I know. I'm all excited.
But I'm up with the quote.
Okay.
Quote of the day. We will start with that like we usually do.
Yes, we usually
try to remember that that's what we're going to do. And I came across this one. Of course, I find all my quotes on Facebook because that's where I am most of the time. And I came across this one the other day, and I did share it on my Facebook, so you'd probably already have read it. I wanted to share this one, though, for everyone. One day, all your children will have is pictures of you. Make sure you're in them. No matter what your hair looks like, your makeup looks like, or your body, they won't care about any of that. They just want to see you.
Mom? Mom, quit cutting yourself out of pictures.
I know.
No,
it's true.
It's so
It's
true.
true.
I don't cut myself out of pictures. Do you?
I'm not in them because I'm usually taking the pictures of the children.
Yeah.
But in this day and age where we have the ability to do the selfie thing and the selfie stick, make sure you're in the picture.
Well, when they're taking family pictures, I don't cut myself out of the family, even if I look like hell.
No,
which is
but
most times.
Mom never wants to have her picture taken.
No, my
A lot
mother
of people
doesn't
don't,
either.
and that's my mother doesn't either.
But I'm like, and actually until about 2 years ago, I hadn't had a recent family picture of my parents and I in years. And actually, one of our next guests took a fabulous picture of my parents.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I know it really, my family won't.
Yeah.
The
I
memories,
like
like
pictures.
you said, though, Audrey.
Well, when you have a get-together, I've done this a couple of times where I had like a photographer that was sort of in the background, just taking pictures, not actual photos, like set photos, but just being at the event and taking those random pictures.
Yes, I love those.
To catch, I absolutely love that.
Not supposed.
Yes, exactly.
I love those.
But I recently, what makes me like that particular quote as well is I recently came across, I had all this, I worked for Radio Shack years ago when one of the first home video cameras that you could buy to bring home.
Right.
So I have lots and lots of 8mm tapes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That my brother-in-law kindly put them on the little USB, and I recently got them uploaded to a computer.
Oh, neat.
And I had brought them with me when I went to Moncton for the back-to-school shopping trip, which we'll talk about after. And with my mom, and sat down, and we sort of went through them, and I was in awe of what, I videotaped a lot of stuff.
Good.
Just different little things. I just set it up in the corner and let it go, and I'm like, oh, there's my uncle who had passed away. There's my cousin who was
memories.
gone.
Yeah.
They're just, you know what I mean? Like, it was unbelievable to sit back and watch all of that.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
like my mother-in-law and your grandmother, I have one in my room of her, and that's she was smiling and happy, and that's a great memory to have of her, and just so many other people that you captured. So
and
I like that.
It's funny actually because not too long ago I found that picture because Grandma passed away the day after her birthday, and the day of her birthday, Judy and I and my mother and I think my Aunt Cynthia were there, and there's a picture of all of us with her.
Yeah.
But she was slowly slipping at that point, so I was holding up her little head to make it kind of look like I wasn't. But anyway, I found that picture recently.
See, how special is that? The last time we were together.
Yeah.
exactly.
Nice quote,
so,
Audrey.
Yeah, so don't shy away from those photos.
No.
Mom.
Definitely.
I know.
Yeah. Mom, Dad,
Mom.
Grandma, any of that. Yeah, so back to school shopping. I know you guys are not in the throes of it like I am.
I am not, but I can imagine how you. I
It
have
was
one,
insane.
One left.
It was insane, them all. And when I got there, I was just like, it is what it is, and just go with the flow. My 12-year-old, she was more, we're not going to find anything. This is crazy. And I'm like, just breathe. We'll
The
just take
car
our
didn't
time.
get scorched or anything? It didn't
No,
burn?
no, it
No.
didn't. But it was the lines and finding something your
I know.
size and getting
And
into
they're
the chain.
fussy.
The line for the checkout is just as long as the line to go try something on.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
See, Mom was a teacher, right? Her whole career. So
Yeah.
back to school for us is always the beginning of a new year. Like even though it's not January, for us it was always the beginning of a new year. So, and I still go buy like, you know, a pack of pencils and a pack of pens.
Just something.
It's
to have brand new ones in the house.
Yes, it just starts that new year off, and you know, and it's a new beginning and a new chance to get it all right.
My mom too, 35 years teaching. So when she was going back, we were all getting back.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say to all those moms and parents out there who are going through that right now, I'm with you. I'm all about it. Take a deep breath. They'll all be there, and then we can take a break.
Yes.
But also to the teachers out there.
Yes.
You know what?
Oh,
Thank you for all you do as teachers.
Brace yourself.
Buckle up.
We
Buckle
promise
up.
you a drink.
Of water.
Yeah.
No. For the most part, Danae is really excited about going back to school and getting things, you know, back to. It's a sense of normalcy, though. They can't wait for summer to get here and have that break.
Yeah, for sure.
The routine of school just puts everything in perspective,
Yeah,
I find.
agreed.
For me, anyway,
Yeah.
at my house.
Beginning.
All kinds of other things to chat about that are going on. You were telling me before we had come on the show some crazy things that have happened.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, crazy. No, basically.
What happened?
Well, I was talking to you briefly, but I'll share with the viewers that 3 Canadians on a cruise ship, 3 passengers.
To Australia.
Yeah. They were.
Sounds like a great trip.
3 Canadians on a cruise ship they were passengers charged after they berthed in Sydney, Australia. The factors were there was something going down, and they were charged with possession. These 3 people, a 63-year-old man, a 23-year-old, and a 22-year-old woman, with 95 kilograms of cocaine in their luggage, worth $23 million US. Hello.
It's astounding to me that, one, they thought they'd get away with that, but obviously it's worked for somebody in the past if they thought it would work. And number 2, I get charged if I'm like a pound over on my luggage.
And they make you open up your luggage and take out because it's overweight.
Because there's an extra sweatshirt in there.
So why would there were
how?
1,800 passengers on this. It was a Princess line, the MS Princess line. So the cruise ship itself, this one's based out of California. But 1,800 passengers and these 3 Canadians, I'm very proud to say, were in possession of and arrested.
So it must have been a tip, because out of 1,800 people, your likelihood is you're going to get away with it, right?
Maybe they're the ones who are going,
Yeah, really.
they get on the ship.
I want to know how many pieces of luggage they had.
Yeah.
No,
I really
know.
do.
But it was in their cabin, in their luggage. So.
Isn't that incredible?
Well, but someone had to put it on the ship.
So that was a cruise ship fiasco. Okay,
And
now
now
we
they were
have
caught.
the pilot situation.
Oh,
The pilots.
Again, the pilots. In Glasgow, Scotland, last month, just barely over a month, 2 pilots from United Airlines were going to get on a plane with 141 passengers and fly them from Glasgow Airport to the U.S. intoxicated.
Yeah.
So they were charged.
They got them before they flew.
They did, but Audrey, not just feeling good or having a 1. They were intoxicated. So it happened again. This time, the 2 Canadian pilots at the same airport.
We shouldn't laugh. That's
For
not
Air
funny. It's
Transat.
scary.
No,
But I'm not traveling anymore.
No.
I'm not.
Because there's no way to get anywhere.
I thought about Scotland, but I don't know if I can fly that that
goodness.
route anymore.
No, that's crazy.
What the heck? Like,
how
there's
is that?
Well, they shouldn't be allowed in a bar to start with. There's an 8-hour rule,
Obviously.
isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, they have to. There's a layover rule where they have to sleep for so many hours,
Bottle
right?
to throttle.
Yeah.
Well, if you have to sleep for so many hours, you should also be required not to
Not to
consume.
drink.
You
Yeah.
can't be 8 hours before your flight takes off a pilot. It's a bottle to throttle rule that most airlines put in place.
Which makes sense to
and
me.
which you
Yeah.
cannot have a drink.
Oh, well, that
At
makes sense.
least 8 hours, and they were intoxicated.
No,
Not
they
just
did.
like tipsy,
Not happy, feeling good. They were gonna fly drunk.
smashed.
So that's two pilots from Canada's flight and 2 from the U.S. Airlines,
my land.
and both from the same airport.
Maybe
So
it's the
something
water.
else to worry about when we're flying,
Maybe
besides
it's
of
the
all,
water.
of
Or on a
all the
cruise
other
ship.
stuff that's going
the
on. Or
cocaine
on a
lovers
cruise.
hop on board. No,
So can
Oh,
we
my
drive?
land.
What's the best way to get anywhere now?
wings.
No, teleportation. We'll
Okay.
start with
Okay.
that.
That's
Work on
insane.
that, Audrey.
That's insane.
I'll come
really.
with that. Come
Oh,
up with
I
that by
can't
next
believe it.
year.
That's nutty
We'll be able to
news.
do that.
Then we can go on
Something
vacation.
fun. Something fun. The MTV Awards, right?
Oh,
the Music
yeah.
Video Awards. I'm going next weekend to see Selena Gomez, Janae, and
wonderful.
I. Flo Rida is going to be there, and DNCE. I don't know
Yeah.
but names.
Francesco.
Yes.
Yes.
He's going to be there as
I thought
well.
Florida, you're not going to be able to sit in your chair.
I know. I watched a video that was more than enough.
Awesome. But Beyonce stole the
Definitely.
show last night, right?
Oh, did she? Oh, I didn't get to
Beyonce.
see it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it.
And Britney Spears performed for the first time
She's
since
looking good.
the time she had kind of that meltdown.
Knockdown. Real
Yeah.
bad time in her
Yeah.
life.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
happy for her.
Well, she looks fabulous.
Like
she
she's
sounds
put together.
fabulous.
She looks
yeah.
put
Her
together.
body looks great.
She's got that residency show in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So she's
Right.
performing,
Oh,
you know,
Yeah.
active
all
now.
the time.
I'm so proud
So-
for her.
I mean, she's amazing though because she went through. I think it's 2007. I'm pretty sure it was when it all
terrible time.
happened.
Yeah.
But she went through just the most public breakdown
know.
possible, and and it must have been so difficult. I mean, it's so difficult to live with mental illness anyway.
Yes.
But then to publicly
Let the
go through
world
it,
know about
Yeah.
publicly go
troubles.
through it, and she's come out the other end.
I know. I'm so
Yeah.
proud
You
of
know,
her.
and,
that's
and she's
good.
showing how to live with mental illness and how to thrive with mental
Thank
illness.
God they're
Yeah.
doing
And how
things.
amazing is she? And she's got, two beautiful
I
boys.
know,
and
she loves him so much.
Yeah.
She's a great
That's just
mother.
it.
She
Good
looks
on her.
fantastic, and she did do some
does.
sexy performance. It was almost like a striptease show. Sorry.
Yeah, God love her.
There was even a poll
Well,
in
she's
there.
only how old?
She's not that young.
She's in her 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was letting it all hang out last night, baby. Giddy up.
Giddy up!
Okay.
Giddy up!
What else we want to talk about? Some international news as well that we didn't mention that was a little more sad is the earthquake in Italy.
Terrible.
It is absolutely devastating.
The whole town was wiped out.
Everything is just crumbled and is one big pile of rock.
I know.
And they've actually, the news that I watched yesterday, they have switched their efforts to the cleanup now. It's not a matter of finding survivors. They don't believe.
But they did pull out an 8-year-old girl.
They did. She
that
was the last
beautiful?
one.
Did you watch that video?
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I missed the
Her
video.
name was
They didn't have
Julia.
a video when I watched the news.
Yeah.
They were just talking
They
about
pulled
it.
they pulled her out of the rubble, which
After 17
I
hours, she was
know.
stuck under this.
the terror though for her.
The
I
fear.
mean, how awful. But thank God they found her.
She came out looking pretty good.
Yeah, really.
And then a couple said their I do's during all
Oh,
of this.
really?
They had planned
Oh,
their
you're
wedding
kidding.
for a year.
Oh, wow.
And then amidst all the rubble, they couldn't go to the church that was wrecked, obviously.
of
They had this
course.
Yeah.
plan to be in this beautiful...
Oh, you're kidding.
Well,
I didn't know
everything
that.
there is like 14th century. It's thousands and thousands years old, this historic place. So they got married anyway.
Isn't
In
that
this little
amazing?
village not
Why
too
not?
far from the church.
Isn't that amazing? eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just,
But I've been
What
to
difference
Rome.
does
It was
it
only an hour from Rome. This
Yeah.
whole thing. It makes me afraid again to travel.
Yeah.
Well, we traveled all through Italy
Yeah.
in 2008, and it's an incredibly beautiful
It's
place.
my favorite, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
I
we
think
spent
so.
4 days in Rome.
Yeah, I love
Venice
that.
was my favorite.
Venice,
Oh, was
Florence
it?
was my favorite.
Yeah.
And Venice.
my sister's over there with her niece. It was a mother-daughter trip for the first time. That's where her daughter wanted to go, was over to Italy and Spain and all of that.
Yeah.
So they're over there
Just
right
a
now.
beautiful trip. You have to think
Is
positive.
that-
They'll enjoy themselves.
Yes,
but there were like
exactly,
40
despite-
aftershocks from that.
That's just it, because that initial hit,
Yep.
everything is so weakened. So anything that happens, even though it's a lot less in magnitude, can still cause just as much
Yes,
damage, if
exactly.
not more,
Right.
because
Yeah.
everything's already been compromised.
When you think of those homes, the churches and those old buildings, most of them were made from mud and clay. So you can imagine
know.
what that would
Because of the
do.
history, right?
Yeah.
Right. How
Yeah.
unstable those
No.
structures would be.
Yeah, I was a little part of the news that they had brought up was that there's going to be an investigation to find out whether or not some of the buildings were built to code. And
Well,
I'm
it's a little
like,
late.
I know. I'm
An
like,
ancient town. Ancient town.
yeah,
It's one of the
exactly.
oldest.
Whether
Well,
or
and
not
that's the
things
thing.
were-
I mean, when you're looking at, the challenge comes from preserving those historic buildings, right, and reinforcing them when you can. But I mean, Mother Nature's Mother Nature,
I know.
What?
right? And I
know.
mean, when an earthquake hits,
Yeah.
although we would like to think that our new codes will withstand whatever Mother
Yeah.
Nature can bring.
I know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
At this point,
That's just
you
it.
know?
Okay, let's bring
So-
everything back to homeland.
Oh, well, we have to get a few
Yeah.
events coming up.
Yep.
I'm going to be really
things
quick,
that are
but,
happening in our own community. So
Well, today there is a blood drive at
Yes.
the NBCC from
Right.
4:30 to 6:30. NBCC College is on University Avenue. I'm going to be working there. Please do and come and donate. The
If you
Canadian
can.
Blood Services, yes, if you can. They need about 30,000 or 32,000 blood types to go and give.
Okay.
And O negative is the most popular because it goes most compatible with most
With
people.
everybody, yeah.
With
Yeah.
everybody. But all
Yeah.
types are more than welcome. And to keep it comfortable, they need 32,000 donations. So
Because there's a
please-
shelf life, of course, on blood.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So-
there would be.
Yeah,
You
and
can't.
keep it at least at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've donated a couple of times. This time around, I'm out with the low iron and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
That's right.
There's lots of people out there.
So
that
do
I'm sure.
come at 4:30 to 8:30 at NBCC.
Yeah, and then there's a ladies' night, Sugar and Spice Ladies' Night, shopping, pampering, and everything nice, happening at October 15th, 2016, Rishabakto River Resort.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
And doors open at 7,
Lovely.
and tickets are $25, and we're featuring Jack Lane duo with John Arsenault.
That sounds like a fun night.
I know.
October
In
15th.
October 15th.
Yes.
That's a good time.
Yeah, that's right between the middle of school starting.
Yes.
And something from
Thanksgiving is just the weekend before that.
Yeah.
And for ticket info, Natalie Chasson at natjcab@gmail.com.
And the second annual Labor Day fundraiser for the Miramichi Community Food Bank will be held Monday, September 5th, coming right up, starting at 12 noon at the Beaverbrook Kin Center, 100 Newcastle Boulevard. So last year they raised $1,700. This year they're hoping to get at least 2,000, surpass 2,000 mark.
Yeah.
And there'll be all kinds of entertainment. Susan Butler's organizing this again.
She's
and
amazing.
admission is a donation at the door, and receipts will be issued for $10 and up. So if you want any more information on this fundraiser for the food bank September 5th, please call Susan at 622-1780. There'll be all kinds of things. Bake sale items and music and Sausage Man and all that.
all of that. Yeah. Well, it's that time of year. All these little things are coming up.
Yes.
One more.
Yeah. No, you go right ahead.
going on
I
around
told my
here.
friend Wayne I would help support this cause. It's Drive for Your Community. So you take the wheel and help your community out.
Okay.
And you take a free test drive, and Ford of Canada will donate up to $6,000 to your community. So the more people you get to drive, the more you'll earn. And it's at the Dr. Logier Middle School, 124 Henderson Street, Saturday, September 17th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this has more, the email is more than I can handle on the air.
Ford Drive,
No.
drive for your community.
Well, this is a fundraiser that's gone around Miramichi, and different schools and different organizations have picked it up. The
Yes.
Autism Resource Center has
It's a
done
Syrian
it.
refugee family,
Yeah,
this one.
it's really great. It's fantastic. I got to drive a Mustang.
Good. Go again.
We need
But-
to give a shout out to Hal Summers,
Yes.
right?
Hal.
Because Hal is a driving force. Obviously,
Behind
he
that.
owns
Good.
Town Ford, but
Yes.
Hal is a driving force behind the Drive One for Your community. So we really need to thank him for all he
Yeah.
does for the community.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
be
That
there and
helps.
take a drive, and the Syrian family will certainly benefit from this.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
definitely.
we've got 2 Syrian families already.
Okay.
We've got another one coming in the next couple of months, and perhaps another one after that.
They're such
Ooh,
lovely people. I've
I know.
gotten to meet a few of them.
Yeah.
So
That's
special.
fantastic. We got some great people coming up
I
next
can't wait.
too. We have Rick Knowles is going to be joining us. He's our next guest.
Great
He
guy.
is an instructor at NBCC Miramichi, and we also have Kim Harris
Yes.
from Kim Harris Photography. She's going to be joining us as well.
A wonderful girl.
Definitely. And just a note to our viewers, we do have a Facebook page that you
Yes.
can check out and put your comments. Let us know what you're thinking of our show. We will be back with more Have a Chat right after the break, so don't go away. We have some great guests lined up, and you're not going to want to miss it. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. We have more great show lined up for you because we now have joining us Rick Knowles. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you very much.
So happy to get you on. We were after you for a while here.
Yeah.
Busy guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty excited to be here too.
Yeah, we had your son on.
Yeah. Denny was so excited this morning when I told him I was going
That
to
you
be
were
on.
going to be on?
Yeah. He said, Dad, he said, can you please say hi on the air? So,
Definitely. So we're
hi,
going to
Denny.
say
Hi, Brody. Hi, Logan. Hi, Mommy.
It's like
Put everybody in.
Rollo Knowles family.
Remember
Yes.
that show? You're all too young, but Romper Room.
No, she never said Bernie.
Exactly.
She said she never
She never
said
ever
no,
said
she
Bernie?
never said
Oh,
I
I
always
waited for
Bernie.
Judy for 10 years.
She never said Bernie.
So you're the artist in town today.
Yes, you are the animation instructor at NBCC here in Miramichi. But tell us a little bit more about who you are in case there is anybody out there that doesn't know who Rick Knowles is.
Okay. Well, I grew up in the Miramichi, and I been interested in art since I was a little boy. You know, so I've been doing that for a long time, and I've been instructing at the college for 16 years now. So it's quite a
Nice.
quite a while.
Possible
Yeah.
it's been that
Quite a-
long.
Yeah, time flies.
My mom actually taught you art, and we laugh
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, yeah. I remember
Because she
you.
wasn't that
yeah.
good, was
Well,
she?
I mean, she was an English
Yeah.
teacher, but they gave her art one year, and you happened to be in her class.
Yeah, and
so.
she used to let me draw all the time in her class
Well,
too.
you
so.
had a love for it,
Yeah,
probably from the
yeah,
get-go.
yeah,
How
yeah.
old were you when you started to know that you had skill?
Well, it was probably when my mom told me
Oh.
early on when I was just a little fella. She said, you can draw. So of course every mother tells their kids that, right? But
No, mine said I couldn't even color.
yeah, I used to get up every morning and watch Saturday morning cartoons as soon as our 2 channels came on, and Mom would come home with the groceries and those brown paper bags, and I'd take those and cut them and use them as paper and sit and draw in front of the TV. You know,
neat.
yeah, and but Mom and Dad picked up some encyclopedias, and I used to lay and sit and draw out of those.
Draw the
all day.
pictures.
Yeah,
so did you start off with tracing paper, or was it freehand?
You know, I can't really remember, you know, like if it was tracing or I
How
just
you
used
started.
to just draw, you know.
Okay,
Freehand.
What do you think you can draw the best? Is it a face? Is it a scene? Is it
Animals?
wildlife? What would you think?
That's a good question.
Well, let's go with
like-
your favorite thing to draw. Then.
Well, I love drawing cartoon characters.
Okay,
I just love,
that's your big one.
yeah, that's probably
Disney.
Yeah,
Well,
Disney.
tell us about Disney.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice segue into Disney. Let's talk
Okay,
about
yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that one of my goals is I wanted to, you know, work for Disney one day, and the first project I worked on was Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas, and we got to pick our own characters because the idea is that you're probably gonna do your best work on the characters that you enjoy the most. So everybody picked Belle at first because she was the main character in the film. So I picked her first too. But then she was in every scene, so I wouldn't have an opportunity to work on any of the other characters. So then I wanted one of the leads too. So I asked for Beast
That would
and
be cute.
got on the Beast team, and that was quite a challenge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But the last project was Peter Pan's Return to Neverland, and I was on the Peter Pan and Tinkerbell team for that.
That's pretty incredible,
Oh,
you
you're
know.
kidding.
I'm proud that you're from Miramichi to
Well,
say
thank
that
you.
you've done all of
Thank
that
you,
and
yeah.
more. You've like locally, we can jump back to Disney again, but locally, tell us about some of the murals that are so outstanding that you've done.
Okay, yeah. Well, probably by far the biggest challenge I've ever had was painting the mural at the church at St. Michael's Basilica, and that one was, you know, it took over a year of planning, and the painting itself was probably about 6 months to paint it, but the planning was something else. But it was just trying to get it.
We can see up
Oh,
there.
there it is.
There we are. Yeah.
Rick, look at that. This is a church that I myself have been attending since I was born, and Veronique as well.
Yeah.
And we were proud enough until you put the paintings in there. Now we're super,
Okay.
super
Well, and
proud.
it's hard, you know, it's hard to see from this perspective how stunning they
No,
actually are
exactly.
in person.
Yeah.
But I get to sit and look at them every Sunday morning,
Yeah.
and it's amazing that you went from a complete blank space
Wow.
there to which
Look
is
at
that,
this.
which is
That's
that
what we
right
had
there.
before, which
That's
you
what
know the
it was
architecture
before.
is amazing. But you installed those 3 huge panels. How
Yeah.
high
That's
are
the
they?
that's the finished piece there.
Yeah.
How big are they?
Oh, the panels themselves, like some of the panels were over 8 feet tall. Like
Yes.
themselves.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they're huge panels. So you can see they're all divided up into
Sections.
sections too.
beautiful.
So, but
You mean you didn't climb up on a ladder and just
no,
paint that
they weren't.
freehand?
Michelangelo.
That was the plan because it was
Oh, was
blank
it? Oh,
walls.
okay.
And they asked me. They said, "How would we do that?" And that would really disrupt the church.
Yeah.
For
For you to be in there
yeah.
trying
So
to do
I
that
said
all
that
the
would
time.
take forever. So I looked at the other windows, and there was no frames in there. So I thought it would be really nice to have frames built that matched the other windows.
Okay.
And then we could cut out panels, and I could do them
Panels at a time.
separately,
and then put it together.
we'd insert them all in
Okay.
later, so that you know it wouldn't disrupt the church. It only took about three or 4 days to install them.
Outstanding.
You
So
know?
how did it all come together? I know it was Father Fraser was something he really wanted. It was important to him.
Yeah.
And then, so how did that all? How did you get involved, and how did the project happen?
Well, Harold Flieger and Marvin McCarthy and Father Fraser, they approached me and asked me if I would be interested in doing something like that. Father Fraser actually was up to the hospital, and I had done a mural in the hospital, which was a pond hockey scene that was dedicated to Scott Knowles.
Oh my, that's
and
grand.
when he saw that, he thought, well, maybe he could do this, because he he felt like the church was unfinished.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
It truly was.
there was
Yeah.
no rationale as to why there was nothing ever painted behind the altars on those blank
No, because
walls.
of all the other scenery.
Well, everything
Yeah.
everything else is stained glass,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Except for
exactly.
those 3 panels, they
Yeah.
were blank.
And that was
Yeah.
his mission. He really felt like before he left and before he retired, he wanted to see something done up there. So they came and they asked that if I'd be interested in doing it. So, and then we came up with different ideas, and I did a lot of different.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Did you come up with things that they were like, no, I don't like, they
Yeah.
didn't care for that, to come up with something different?
Yeah, well,
as far as the scenes?
Father Fraser really had an idea of what he
Oh, he
wanted
did.
up there.
St. Michael for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
To be incorporated.
But as far as the composition went,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I had to plan it all. So he said that he wanted the St. Michael in the middle as the
Mm-hmm.
centerpiece, and then the Nativity and the Crucifixion and the Resurrection
Right.
on the bottom panels. But how I was going to represent that was
Yeah.
completely up to me. So
Right.
there isn't a mark on there that is up there by accident. So it was
Okay.
all
Intense
like the
planning.
colors planned and
Wow, Rick.
Were you
the shapes.
stressed?
And I was a little bit there. Yeah, I was a little bit
No.
stressed. Yeah, well, because who am I to go into a church and paint on the wall? So it was the hardest thing just to get the courage to go in there and do that, because
I know for a legendary basilica, people come from all over
Yeah.
and say, what an amazing
Yeah.
piece of
was-
architecture in this small town.
It was a huge honor to
Yes, it's
be
an honor.
To be
given the
asked.
opportunity to do
Yeah.
that. But I kept questioning myself.
Is it good enough?
Yeah, should I be doing this? Am I going to get struck by lightning?
I couldn't
Yeah.
do it, so
No, I
I mean,
couldn't
Veronique
imagine.
and Andre
No.
couldn't do it. We
No.
had to get you. Joking. You must have a huge sense of pride when you walk into that basilica and see your work.
Well, once it was done, and people came and looked at it, and the comments were so overwhelming. I was really, like, it is. Yeah, I am very proud of it. Like, yeah.
Okay, so where was your workspace?
My workspace was at home. I was
Oh, fun for
yeah,
your wife.
yeah, upstairs. I had a whole room, and I made a special drawing board, and I once those wooden panels were made, and it was they were made in Rogersville, and they did a wonderful job with the panels. I went and measured all the panels out, and then I made a special drawing board to hold all the panels in place so that I could paint across 3 to
That's
4
right.
panels at once.
Incredible, Ricky.
That's right.
So
So the scene
I
looks
hit-
like all one, even
Yeah.
though it's divided.
Yeah, and I took for the brushes. I took some of the my kids' Halloween. Like they had little toy swords
Yeah.
and things like that. So I made extensions for my brushes,
Oh, neat.
so I could
You were one
sit
creative
back.
guy.
Yeah, so there was a lot of improvising, like
Yeah. I
to
know,
get the
but
right
you're-
tools. So
So it took
Creativity.
you six months about to actually paint the scenes?
yeah, the actual painting itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And to find time. I mean, you're busy. Tell us about your job at the college, NBCC.
Oh,
You're
I-
an instructor.
Yeah, I'm an instructor at the college, and I've been doing that for, a long time. And when I started in the field of animation, it was completely different than it is today. Like, I was trained at Sheridan. It was probably the last group that were trained on actual film, so I did do all the editing the old school way.
Yes.
Everything was edited by hand on film, and then over the years, computers were used more and more, and so I've had to adapt to lots of different changes.
You
to
were
the
there
digital
for the
tools.
change
Yeah.
because a lot of things are now
Yeah.
computer generated.
Exactly. Like, so when I started, when I worked on Peter Pan's Return to Neverland, everything was on paper, and
Right.
the ship for Captain Hook was painted digitally for that film, and it was a really big deal to have this ship all done digitally on this film, and they had these biplanes flying and around, and so it was neat to see that. But now that's
That's
Common.
the way
It's
it's done.
common.
that's a common thing.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
a
Peter Pan's
a bit of it. Yeah.
So what did you do? You just call up Disney and say, "Hey, I wanna,
Here I
I'd like
am.
to draw for you." Like, how did all that happen?
Oh.
Or did I miss a part?
They find out about you? Did they?
Yeah. Well, I one of my instructors set up an interview with some of the recruiters that
Oh,
for
okay.
Disney, and I had to do a test. They had a scene from Beauty and the Beast Beauty and the Beast, the original movie with Belle in it, and I had. They were opening up a new studio in Toronto, and I was given the scene, and I had all kinds of time to do this, and I did it in a week.
What?
And I called and I said, asked for the interview, and they said you can have more time if you want it, and I just really wanted to get the feedback. So then that was my.
They loved it.
Yeah, my foot in the door. Yeah. And,
I'm so proud of you to say that we actually know somebody with your talent.
well, thank
So you worked out of Toronto, though. So that's where the studio was.
Yeah, they have studios all over the world. Like Walt Disney Animation, Sydney. They like with Pocahontas Journey to a New World. We worked with Walt Disney Animation Japan.
Wow.
So in the first project, everything was done in-house under one roof. So you got to see the film from start to finish. So it was like your baby.
That is right.
Yeah.
Coming to birth.
Yeah. And then, but on Pocahontas, half of that was done in Walt Disney Animation Japan. And this
So
one,
what about Mickey?
Yeah,
Okay,
Mickey.
and Pocahontas.
Mickey. That was a great project because it was the first time that those characters were animated
Look
that
at
way.
that.
Yeah.
Like in years. Like that was done by hand too.
That's right,
But,
because they're taking a lot of older ones
Yeah.
Winnie the
and
Pooh.
redoing them, and
Yeah.
with the computer
And Winnie the Pooh.
animation part, and it's just so much more real.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I find it.
Oh, yeah.
I find
Like-
it so fascinating, especially like when you said when you started with paper, because
Yeah.
it's like you're literally drawing every millimeter of
Frame.
movement.
Yeah.
Every
yeah,
look is-
it's 24 frames per second. So for every second of film, you have 24 drawings.
Wow.
You know, so
Every second has
every
24
second,
drawings.
24
Every
frames.
second.
Yeah.
Not every minute, every
Unbelievable.
second.
But
Yeah.
we generally shoot on 2, so that means there's 12 drawings for every second.
You
But
love
that's,
every minute of it, don't
I
you?
do. I love it.
I'm really
That's not
excited
hard to
about
tell.
too that you have the honor, as I understand, you can clarify.
Oh, is that the one that
Oh,
he did?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, this pond hockey scene. It's a little distorted
that is awesome.
because it's about 16 feet.
Isn't that
Right.
gorgeous?
Yeah,
Isn't that
so that's
amazing?
kind of compressed there.
Compressed
right now,
so
but-
that we could get an
Yeah.
image
Pond
of
hockey's
it.
been so big
Yeah.
here over the
Oh,
years.
yeah.
But Rick, you are not, or you can correct me if I'm wrong, they've been designated to do the logo for the new Max Aiken Academy?
Yes, yeah, and I just did that, and I did the logo for the Gretna Green School, the new gym floor. It's already on the floor, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice to walk around Miramichi and said, I had a hand at this
Well,
and
really?
that, and I did
Yeah.
that.
So where do you get your inspiration from, Rick? Like do you look at something and say, I can pick an element out of that and do something better, or like does it pop in your head one day, or?
I just draw my inspiration from life, everything around.
Could you paint us?
Oh God, no!
No, really, and we could like have a chat painting, and then we would have to, do like
I'd be
a-
more comfortable
We need to
doing a
Photoshop.
cartoon.
I think they would
But
be
yeah,
characters.
Yeah, characters. Yeah. We need to Photoshop that puppy.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Like all these paintings and stuff, that's not really what like my field,
No.
but that's just something I was trained for too. So
Yes.
I really enjoy that too.
Where does your
amazing.
skill, do you think, come from? Some of your family or like ancestors? Do you know of anyone that did like huge art type
Yeah,
things?
is it
like you?
genetic? Is your
I
talent
don't-
genetic?
Your dad?
I think it's definitely something that can be learned.
Oh, you
I
do?
think
Oh, there's hope?
I think we can all.
Yeah, you
get
Not
can
for
learn.
us.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you couldn't train me to do
Oh,
a.
I could,
You
yeah.
couldn't do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a monkey.
I'm with her.
I could do a stick person with hair, and the
Well,
hair
if you
wouldn't
can
even
draw a
turn out
stick
good.
person, that's where it all starts.
Ricky, no,
Well, there.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Now, are any of your kids artistic?
Yeah. Oh, Brody loves to draw, and Denny loves to draw too, and Logan too. They all have a little bit in them, and Brody in particular just
Yeah.
loves to create all kinds of different levels and things. But they all
So
yeah.
how do
they
you
all
feed
enjoy-
into that for your children? I've had my kids, all of them drawing at some level, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. That's way better. But how do you feed into it so that, and to nurture it so that they can grow and maybe make something of it like
no
you
such
did?
thing as a bad drawing ever.
There is.
Yeah.
No, there is.
Yeah, but-
Judy, we
but-
need to submit some of our work to Rick
But
so he
there's-
can
Tell
tell.
you, Ricky, no, seriously, I have
But
a lot of
there's-
good talents, but that would
Yeah.
not be one.
Well, Kyman Nicolaides said that all of us have thousands of bad drawings in us, so the sooner you get them out, the better. So there's no such
That's
thing
neat.
as
I like that.
The
there's no
sooner
such
you
thing-
get them out,
yeah,
you better
so
get
there's
drawn.
no such thing as bad drawing day.
But see, they won't let me sing. So like, I'm not a
That's a
creative
different
person.
thing.
But I'm not creative, right? I'm not creative, so I can't sing, and I really can't draw though.
You have other many.
I like to
beautiful
pretend
gifts,
I can
though.
sing.
No, she has other. We all have our own gifts.
I like to pretend.
Yeah,
I
you
can
don't want to
sing.
hear me sing.
Yay!
So what's up next?
Pardon me?
Before we go to break, we're going to finish up and find out what's up next for you.
Well, back to school now.
No, I know.
You're teaching again. How many
I'm teaching.
students roughly?
I have, we're overprescribed right now, so we have 25 coming in. So I think right now 22 were confirmed because we always have some seats for international students. So
Right.
sometimes they have a little trouble getting the funding.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. So put some huge talent in the
yeah,
classroom,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I'm so proud of some of my students. Like I have students that have gone to work for, on films like Hotel Transylvania and the
Oh, really?
Smurfs
Oh,
and
wow.
things like that. And I remember them as students, being unsure of themselves as students and then going on and to do some really
Gifted.
great things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's
And
exciting.
as a teacher, that just
Oh, that makes it all worthwhile.
makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
We wanna
amazing.
Thank you so much
Proud.
for joining us and telling us all about your work. And
you, Rick.
for our viewers, if you're driving around, check it out. His work is in a number of different
Oh, yes.
locations.
Yeah.
You'll
Well, and
wanna
you can
see
and you
them.
can go right into St. Michael's Basilica.
Yeah.
The church is open, so you can go see what
It's
Rick has done there.
outstandingly incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd like
definitely.
to mention the one at the Portage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, you have an image there as
Yeah,
well.
it's of the Chatham Bridge.
Portage
beautiful.
Restaurant.
So that's a real
beautiful.
local.
Yeah.
Centennial Bridge, which
Yeah.
is one of our landmarks for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely.
And that one
definitely.
you can get up close to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you
well,
so
thanks
much,
for
Rick.
joining us.
I really
We'll
appreciate
be
it.
back with
Okay.
more Have a Chat with Kim Harris Photography joining us next. Don't go away. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. We've been having a great show. We just finished with our first guest, Rick Knowles, who is an instructor at NBC Studios.
I love that we get to meet all these people.
I know.
I
And
love
he's
that we get to meet all
fantastic.
these people.
Star.
Yeah, he was an animation instructor over there, and he's worked for Disney, and it's just amazing. And his artwork around the river is unreal.
But you know what's
Definitely
amazing
have to check
too, though, is that in our little region of Miramichi, right, that everybody says nothing happens here and there's nobody here. We have all of these incredible
it
people.
out.
I know, we
I
do.
know.
That's what I think.
And
of
you
everyone.
can see our next guest
I know, they're
artwork
incredible.
everywhere as well.
It was
Kim
such a good
Harris.
segue.
I know.
I
Thanks
know.
for having me, girls. I appreciate it.
Finally got you
Yeah.
on here. Been chasing it
I
down.
know.
I
No.
Well, you're so
that's
busy.
just it.
It is. It's busy, and I mean, it's back to school time's busy because
is busy.
people want to get those summer photos in
Okay.
and
Yeah.
things like that. So it's been busy, but I'm excited to be here. Thanks for
Well,
having
people
me.
mostly know who you are, but tell us, for those who don't, all about you.
Well, I'm a mom first, so I have two sweet boys, Grayson, who's 13,
They're so
and
cute.
Landon, who's 9,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do anything without my husband Kylie. So we've been together for 16 years. So it's been a lot of fun. It's fun, but mostly I'm a mom and then I'm a photographer.
So it must be
Yeah.
almost 16 years since you began, is it? Your career?
Well, Grayson's 13. It really started when I had him.
Okay.
So I wanted pictures of my child, but I
Because
just
all us
couldn't.
moms are taking
Yeah.
pictures anyway, right?
Like we want pictures of our kids, but I wanted something. I didn't know what it was, and with lots of practice, I realized what it is you want real smiles and you want to capture their personality and things like that. So with lots of practice, I've created a business which allowed me, when my second son came along, to be able to stay at home.
And it's a big business.
It's
It's
well,
become a
thank you.
very
Thank
well
you.
known. You are well known.
It is.
Kim,
I
now.
don't feel I am
I
as
do,
as well known as what people say, and
Oh, no,
there's
it's-
certain people. When I come on shows like this, I realize, okay, I'm doing something right.
Well, you know what? You're so gifted, though, Kim. And I mean, you and I have been
It
friends
is.
for a long time. But I would like to think that I'm unbiased because I've seen your work and it's incredible. And you did me a huge favor last summer, and I'm going to tell everybody about it. So we knew that my dad's dog
Yes.
was not doing well, right? He was getting older, and dad and Labda had such a great relationship, and Labda was so important to our family.
Yeah.
So Kim came down to the house, spur of the moment, and she took pictures, and I've got the most beautiful pictures, and they're actually going to be Dad's Christmas present.
Aw.
I've got the most beautiful pictures of Labda.
Surprise, Dad.
I know. Well, he's in Africa now, so he's not watching. But because we just lost Labda
Yeah.
not too long ago,
Yeah.
and she took the most they really captured his little loving
Soul.
soul.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and for Dad, it'll give him something to hold on to.
Well, that's Audrey's quote
Yeah.
was just about that. Get
Yeah.
those pictures
Get those
and
pictures.
cherish them because one day that's all you'll have.
And that's
Yeah.
it. That
So-
quote is amazing. I mean,
Is
it truly is. I mean, there's a lot of people that struggle to find pictures when you have a sick family member and things like that.
No.
I mean, we recently lost Dad, and it's the same thing. We
You're
had to find we didn't have to, but we wanted to find pictures that captured him.
And that's
I
when
mean,
you realize that
it's-
you didn't take enough.
Well,
or that
and you never
wish you'd
take
taken
enough.
more.
You never take enough. You look
Yeah.
back now and you think, oh, I wish, but just take pictures.
But
If
why
we
is
can
it that
give you
people
anything.
say, I don't want a picture taken, so then they look twice as odd as if they. They might as well just grin and bear it.
I mean,
You don't
it's
look
not
terrible.
like the pictures are going on, a
No, the cover of a
broadcast or a
magazine.
cover of a magazine.
International
They're for you.
website.
They're for you.
But some people will
Yeah.
go. They'll make
I
a terrible
know.
face. So would you rather not have a normal face and get it over
But,
with than
you know,
come out looking like a turd?
At the end of it, though, you got to look at it too. That if you can go to a photographer that can make you feel comfortable,
Yeah, you do
and
that.
and I
be
talk through
themselves.
all my photo
You
shoots.
do.
So people think, oh, she's talking, but I'm talking because I want you to laugh and I want you to smile and I want you to breathe and relax.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get those really great shots, like Audrey, you had
No.
said earlier about getting candid shots at a party. Well, a lot of them are just capturing two people connecting, and
Yeah.
that's what makes good photos.
Laughing and
Yes,
how to,
yes.
meeting each other. And
Yes.
So in your work, because I've seen a lot of your work, where do you get your inspiration? Because I mean, you photograph babies, you photograph
Everything.
Because you
You
got
know,
to change it up. You don't
yeah,
want
like,
the
where do you-
same photo
You have
for.
sexy photos too, don't
I
you?
can
Of
do
intimate
that,
photos
yes.
of
I've
people
done
that
those in
want
the
to have their
past.
husband or you
I
have
had
I've-
done that a few years
I've
ago.
done
you
that.
not
We had
shy?
a lot of fun.
as close as we
They
are. That's
serve
never
you
gonna
wine.
happen.
I think I'd be too shy to do that.
They serve wine at those photo shoots.
How
I
much
will
wine?
say that.
How much wine?
But I don't specialize in those really right
No,
now.
no.
I specialize in family portraiture. But I mean, those type of photo shoots are great
Personal.
for just their personal. But if you're just having a bad day,
Yeah.
it's something you can pull out and say, man.
No, that
I
would
did
make my
that.
day worse if I
Yeah.
saw me.
No,
Exactly.
you'd be surprised.
No,
I
it was
recently
a-
just did one,
it
and
was a matter of
and I'll tell you,
confidence.
the woman and I, we went out and we had a blast.
Good.
And it's just all laughs and giggles, and I mean, everybody needs that
No.
good
Yeah,
day.
they do.
So
Yeah.
that's what we did. But I love that. But my focus really is right now on kids and families
Children, most
and
of
things, children, babies, and I just find I can be silly. And
But
I
where do you
don't.
get the inspiration? Because I mean, like the props that you get and
Well,
the way you put those
The
babies.
inspiration, honestly, a lot of it comes from my clients. I
Okay.
ask a lot of questions.
You do.
Yeah.
I've been there. You do.
I ask a lot of questions, like, what are you trying to portray? What do you want this picture for? Where are we going to put this
Are
picture?
those your real teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are they going to fall out?
We hope
Yes.
not.
When you smile.
But it's true, like I do that, but honestly, like with Pinterest right now, it's huge. My clients
yeah.
love it. So I mean, like, is there anything that you like or that you want to see? And a lot of times they pull out Pinterest, and I mean,
Yeah.
we can make that your own. Some of the poses, I'm not going to lie, they're not realistic for a lot of people. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's a lot of fun to try them, and we laugh,
Yeah.
and I get to know my clients, and a lot of my clients have been coming to me for years.
Yes.
So it's building that personal connection with them.
Well, the time that she did because I kept saying to Kim, there's no way, because I have 6 of us. I'm like, there's no way you're going to get a good shot of the 6 of us, the kids, the way they are. And she was like, she almost challenged me. She was like, just let me
Just let me do my thing.
whatever. And I'm like, there's no way that all 6 of us are going to look half decent or anything else like that. And with Brody, who was a little more challenging to get him to look right straight on.
Yep.
And then the oldest daughter, who is very picky about what angle you take her picture
The
from.
best side, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she was so open to letting the kids, okay, what do you want to do? And the girls wanted to have their own picture, and the boys wanted to do something, and Brody picked up Danae and held her in his arms.
Pictures are
And,
supposed to be fun. I mean, everybody has that idea in their head of sit perfectly straight
Yeah.
and don't move and look straight ahead and
know.
you have to be
Yeah.
perfect. That's not the way photography
those
is
are
now.
mug shots.
Natural.
No, it's not natural. I mean, like if you have to go for a passport photo, that's how I'm going to put you.
yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be fun, and kids want your kids to get their picture
Yeah.
taken.
Those
So
are their
I-
favorite pictures
Exactly.
of them together
because they're
being
having
themselves.
fun. And that's
That's
the
who
point.
they are.
That's what pictures are supposed to be. And I always say to parents, when you come for a photo shoot, don't tell your kids, you're going to smile, you're going to get your picture done. No, just,
Let
we're
it
going to go
happen.
have fun. Just, I always tell my clients, if the kids are stressing, we're going to go have fun. We're going to go meet someone new, and we're just going to have a good
Yeah.
time. Takes the stress away.
Now, question: you say it's mostly all fun and good and all it's natural, but for those 2-year-olds that just do not want to sit still and are really not wanting to be there, crying and having a temper tantrum, how do you control that?
You know what? Those are my favorite. They really are.
She's so good at
I'm
them.
like, if anybody says I'm fully trained in 2 and I'm fully trained in 3, I have 2 busy boys, and my youngest was just crazy at that age. And you know what? You just let them have their moments, and then you bring them back.
Okay.
And it's just like anything else, everybody has that kid, that might have that breakdown in the grocery store. You just ignore it. You bring them back, they smile. I act really silly.
You must love a lot of your pictures, but do you have some that you particularly say that's one of my favorites? Or you must have, how we have
Well, you
things,
take one and then you're
pictures-
just like, wow. You don't even realize
Yeah.
until you go to print it how good that
Yeah,
was.
Right,
yeah,
those
like,
outstanding
I
ones.
do. I have a lot, and honestly, one of my most memorable shots was the large group photo with the pink ladies.
With the pink ladies, which
and
Audrey
those-
belonged to.
Yeah,
And,
and I mean that
Yeah.
group just. I like taking pictures that are meaningful, and you know
totally.
that somebody's going to look back on that over time.
Well, they were
Yes.
so beautiful, and it was such a special. You know what? It gave us the opportunity to share in their moment.
exactly.
Yeah.
You felt
we
like
have
you
so
knew
many
them.
followers because
Yeah.
of that
Yes.
one
Yeah.
particular photo shoot that we did where we had matching shirts.
Yeah,
Because we had
beautiful.
done
Yeah.
the one the year before where
Yeah.
we all wore black tank tops
Exactly.
and blue jeans, and that's where people heard about us.
Well, maybe go back a little bit
And
because
then-
this was all in the line of a group of friends from way back that came together
Yeah.
and became stronger as
Yeah.
Maureen
Yeah,
McIntyre,
exactly.
one of the pink ladies.
Well, when she
went
had
through
found out
a cancer.
that her cancer was back,
Yeah.
and that's when we were like, you know what, we're going to start getting together regularly.
Yeah.
That's
Like
all
a
we
fun
said. Once a
times.
month, we're going to get together, have some tequila.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? And a photo shoot came of that. And we were
Yeah.
taking pictures, and then we were like, we want a group picture
But you
done
guys made me
good.
feel like I was part of the group.
we're
Like they're
pink
just
ladies.
such a sincere group.
Yes.
And it was so much fun, and they were easy, and they're all like, "Oh, Kim, we're sorry for being a headache." I'm like, "It was a blast."
Oh, we
Like,
were.
I love
one of
it.
your
I felt like
so
we
much-
were a kindergarten
so
class,
much.
and she was trying to rally us
I
all
know.
together all the time
It is.
and
It's
try
like
to.
herding cats.
And
But
I
I mean, it's a
was.
lot, but that's part of it. I mean, you have to have patience in this business. And
Yes.
you have to. It's just the way that it is. But it's fun. But I mean, that was my biggest group. But I mean, everything. I mean, if I talk about newborns, I got my favorite newborns,
Oh
and I
my
got my favorite children. And I mean, I have this one little girl that I know she's watching right now. And hi, Claire.
Oh.
And she's a sweetie. And I mean, she calls me Tim.
Yes.
And I've been taking
Of
her
course,
pictures. I've been
obviously.
taking her pictures since she was born. And there's just families that hold that
Yeah.
special part with
That's
me.
right.
And I've been doing their pictures now for years, and she has a new baby brother, and it's awesome to create
Yeah.
those things. So I can't really say I have a favorite.
See, when I look at my family, I had to put pictures together. My son graduated both times.
Yeah.
And at their party, try to haul out what I thought were my favorite baby pictures of them.
Okay.
Like 4 just jumped out. They have
Yeah.
to be on display
Yeah.
because they're priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them, Jansen's got this little hat on sideways and his little tongue. Like
Exactly.
Elmer Fudd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, it's the expression, right? It's catching
Yeah.
his. It's catching his
Because I took a
expression,
lot
his
of
personality.
pictures when the kids were little.
Yeah.
Did you take
Of
them?
course
Yeah.
we did.
And I have some that I'm just like, wow, photography could have been my thing.
There.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
But I had the 4 kids and my patients weren't there, so I was like, the
just
fact that I
nice
caught a
things.
few pictures were good.
Yeah.
But you not too long ago started a new part of your business called the photo booth.
I did.
The
I
photo
did.
booth.
Yeah.
And we actually called it studio booth
Oh, there you go.
because photo booths are a lot. You climb into that boxy little
Yeah.
Right.
thing, and you just sit there and a camera snaps. Well, I feel that you need to have somebody capture your personality.
Yeah.
So I created Studio Booth, which allows me to set up a booth at events or charities, organizations, and have fun props, and I take your picture. So you guys are
Yeah.
going to look at the camera, we're going to get that great expression, and you get a great keepsake. And the photos are printed instantly.
You get like a
Yes.
tiara or a boa.
Exactly, you can
Yeah.
do
some
whatever.
fun
Yeah,
Little
gadget.
some fun
signs,
stuff.
little signs.
Or I mean, if it's at a charity event and everybody's dressed up, per se, you don't need the
Very
props. We
nice.
just do
Yeah.
things like that. But this is a side business that I'm kind of doing, and the pictures are printed instantly, and it's
Well, that's
a lot
I think
of
the
fun.
piece that everybody loves
Yeah.
is that they can
Yes.
walk away with it in their hands and not
Yeah,
be done.
yeah. There's no having to come back or email them and things like that. And when people get that actual picture, they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you're sending a digital file, it's like, it gets filed into the computer, but you actually have this. It goes on the fridge.
So did you ever think you'd get this big at photography? Did you ever
Oh, no.
dream that it would
I
be?
still don't feel I'm that. No.
You're
But you're
humble.
that busy that we
I
had to
am.
book you this
But
Friday.
Kim Harris is, and
I
I
am
see you
busy.
everywhere, and your name's out there.
And I'm dabbling in a lot of different things, and it's a lot of fun. It helps me to grow, and it keeps me busy. I mean,
Very busy.
I love
She's
it.
done
I
the
really
Christmas
love it.
thing recently up
Yeah,
at the mall last year. That was your first.
We've been there, yeah, and you know, I like to spread the love per se. So you know, a few years back, I was at the Rod. We did the Rod Christmas. It was awesome. We had the kids there. Santa was there. Then I went to the golf course, and it was fun. I mean, we had the golf course. The setting was beautiful. It reminded you of that old antique Santa. We were at the mall last year, and this year we're at Sobeys.
You're changing it up.
We're changing it up.
Good for the community.
So we're going to Sobeys this year, and Renault's has offered to do some decor for us.
Oh, wow.
So we're teaming up with some more businesses. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
going to be great. Yeah. So stay tuned for information on that. The first date, I believe, is November the 27th is
Okay.
when Santa's going to be there. We're working on some different things, but yeah, it's still a little
Fun.
early. We're in the early
Yeah.
planning stages, but yeah, it's stay
Where do
tuned.
you find time for Kim? You have the two boys, so they're in school. I understand, so you can do a lot of your photography work when they're at school. But
Yes.
for you to find time to do, go out with your friends, you're just so busy.
Well, I am. I'm not. I mean, you're only as busy as you make
I
it,
know,
right?
just put it-
But I have to stop you there because you're full of crap. So because
She's calling BS.
I am.
I
I
just
am
don't stop you.
because you give back so much to the community.
You do.
Not
Yeah.
only do you take great pictures, but you donate your services so
I-
often.
I do, but that's me time. That's
that? Okay.
like I do a lot for the James M. Hill Alumni Association, and I love it. And and the girls are like they keep saying, Kim, really, and I just love it. I love helping people, and I love giving back, and I mean, you guys all know, you guys donate all your time as well. And
But
do
we're all
things, but-
crazy.
So I fit in. So I fit in.
But you know
But
what I
do.
love on James M. Hill's wall, how you do the Student of the Month. They are
I know. I'm so excited
spectacular
for the school year
pictures.
to start.
I can't believe how good
and
they are.
start that again. We do the Student Athletes of the Month, and
Wow.
Giver Miramichi, Mighty
Yeah.
Miramichi had come on and helped with that, and it's great.
I
It's
walk
just to
in and
showcase
think, look
the
at this.
kids.
You should see. Have you
Oh, I
seen
know.
them?
I know. It's
You go through your high school
Teresa's
year.
Teresa's been on.
Wow.
She's on the wall.
Yeah, you go
Beautiful.
through your high school year, and it's nice to be noticed. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's where that came
And
from.
they're so attractive. Like everyone looks so.
Beautiful.
You have them just captured
Beautiful
at their
children.
best.
Yeah.
And
Tell us what's coming up next for you.
Well, next, right now I'm working on some fall things. We have a photo walk coming up. So have you ever heard of a photo walk?
walk?
Photo walk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so it's a photo walk coming up October the 1st. Ed Goodfellow is actually the host of the event. We're going to meet down here by the library, and we're going to go on a little photo walk around Newcastle. Everybody's welcome. It's free.
Bring your own camera.
Bring your own camera.
Okay.
It's free. Bring some comfy shoes, and we're all going to meet up at Chatters after. And we're going to just talk about our pictures and different things. This is kind of fun stuff that, it's nice to meet people, make
different.
friends. It's
Something
different,
You have
right?
the same interest in taking photographs. And,
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
exactly,
to see-
exactly. So that's new. I started doing some realtor photography.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm working
That's
with
different.
Allied right now too. So
My
we're
gosh,
doing some
yeah.
houses and stuff and things like that, and their ads are really popping. When you see them up online now, you can really see the difference in the pictures. So it's that's new as well. What else I got going on? Oh, the JMH alumni. We have their gala. They're doing a gala
Yes,
right
I
now.
know.
Oh,
So
that's
they're
right,
getting
too.
ready for that, and they're looking for nominations.
Yes, they are. Deadline's
That's
like
right.
August 31st.
August
to
31st,
get
yeah,
tickets.
yeah. So if
Exactly.
there's any nominations for some great Tommies out there,
Yeah.
we'd
Yeah.
love to get some more nominations
I
in for
know.
that. But
It'll be a beautiful affair.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm-
And
I'm
you have a
excited.
website. You have a Facebook page.
I
you
do.
Have,
Yeah, you can
okay.
check me out. It's just under Kim Harris online. You can go under Kim Harris Photography on Facebook, or you can check out my website. And some of my favorite pictures are on there.
Oh, are they?
The website would take a year to go through if I put them all up.
No,
true.
I always say
exactly.
tomorrow I'll have another favorite picture. So.
And you're funny too. When you've done my pictures, when I had to wear the red dress for the
Yes.
modeling
Yes,
at the casino
yes.
for the fundraiser, you have me in stitches.
Oh, it's
So
it's
your
just-
sense of personality really reaches onto us.
You gotta have fun. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. People don't smile if you're not having fun.
You make it happen.
That's
Thank
just
you.
it. So
Thank
make
you.
sure you're in the photo.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
Get the photos taken. Give Kim a call. Be in the photo.
Thanks,
right?
girls.
For your family.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming
so much
on.
for
Thank you
joining
for
us
having
today,
me.
Kim.
Good work.
Yes, and we wanted to say thanks to Ricky Knowles, who was here earlier. We had another great show. We have other great guests actually lined up for the next weeks.